funny how that, ooh. But I do absolutely love powder. Sorry, I am answering a text message and another text. Hello y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So today, if I do sound a little congested under the weather, it's because, well, I am. If any of y'all have been watching my Snapchat or even my Twitter, you know that I had been under the weather for a couple of days, and today I am feeling slightly more human and less dead, so I was like, you know what? I hadn't been filming, let's just get and filming a video, because I don't know about y'all, but I feel a lot better about just everything when I'm actually being productive. So today we are going to be doing a get ready with me. That's kind of a requested. Some of y'all asked me, hey, could you do a get ready with me? That was like using your tried and true products that you reach for on a daily basis. So I decided, okay, well, we're going to do that, and we're going to be doing like kind of like my everyday makeup, which my everyday makeup is like just whatever I want to. Fudge. So the fan was going all whilst doing that. But hey, it is what it is. We're just gonna keep going on. But I don't really have an everyday makeup look, but what we are gonna do is kind of like if I don't know what I want to do and I just want to do makeup, it's kind of the products and the look that I reach for the most. And we're also gonna be talking about kind of, once again, if any of y'all have been keeping up with me on the social medias, I'm gonna be having some changes in my life, so we're gonna play with some makeup, show you whatever, and talk about that. Y'all in all nice and close here. Things are going to be listed in the description box below because I have been getting better at that. And I admit, I do my makeup a little weird. I mean, if you'd seen some of my other get readies with me, I kind of do my makeup like most normal people do, but recently I have been kind of developing my own way that just caters to how I just want to do it. So the order is kind of a little weird. So I'm just priming this like area of my face, and then we got the foundation going on. The primer was the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which has been like my ancient, amazing, holy grail ever since I got it. It's just honestly phenomenal. And now every primer that I'm gonna get, I'm gonna like compare it to that. And my skin has been acting up recently. I added 2 new things to my skincare routine: the Tatcha Dewy Skin Moisturizer and this Elf like radiant something coconut thing going on, and argan oil. And one of those things has been causing me to get all them little white bumpy bumps. And as someone who has got the dry skin, I only have the time and the energy to deal with one skin problem at a time. I'm kind of really hoping that it's the Elf thing, because the Elf thing was $8, and you all know Tatcha is not cheap. Although if it does end up being the Tatcha, I am gonna return it, because as I've told y'all before, I do not have the budget to just be holding on to things that don't work for me. So if either or any of y'all have used either of those products, definitely let me know. One of y'all did either, I think one of y'all Snapchatted me and said that a lot of people have like kind of those little like teeny tiny whiteheads. That's a pretty common reaction to things that have coconut in it. So definitely let me know if you've used any of these things and if like you've had a reaction or what, because my skincare routine had been so good. I'd had it down and I was like, all right, let's try this new thing. And then my skin was like, why? And of course, it could be all kinds of stress. Who knows? And then speaking of stress, let's get into talking about my life and changes and all kinds of good things going on. As most of you may know, at least a lot of you who have been with me for an extended period of time, I have been going back and forth between Virginia and Tennessee, which I am currently in. And I have been very much engaged with the care and caretaking, caregiving, whatever, ensuring the quality of life with my elderly grandparents, although more specifically my grandfather, whose health is the one who seems to be consistently deteriorating, declining, whatever you want to say. So I had been doing the bouncy bounce back and forth, and it kind of just like, I kind of figured and knew I was probably going to be moving here, but things just kind of escalated and came to a head and made it happen a little bit sooner than I thought, and so I am moving to Tennessee, and so things on YouTube and everything like that are probably going to be a little bit transitional. You're going to see like this background, then you're going to see the background back whatever, and back and forth and back and forth. It is very much going to be less one consistent background, one consistent filming space as I do that transition, but I am very committed to keeping this channel going, to keep providing you all with content. Y'all have been absolutely wonderful and supportive. I cannot say thank you enough to all of y'all. I posted that one community thing letting you know, and I just sat there and like read all y'all's comments and cried and was like, I love them all so much. It was very, very sweet, and I'm just super grateful to everyone who has been in my corner and supportive, and I have the best group of subscribers and viewers. Y'all are the best. But like I said, I am going to try really, really blinking hard to keep doing content for you all, because, I mean, part of the thing about YouTube for me is it has been such a wonderful way to express myself, to share my love of makeup and other opinions and everything like that. And now that I am, on that monetization train, there's the whole aspect of having to treat it more, like a business and everything like that. But also, it just gives me a lot of joy and pleasure to create content, and it's kind of like almost like an outlet for me. It becomes, oh, I'm stressed or I'm whatever, well, let's take a little me time, a little time for Soraya, and let's, play with makeup and talk to my friends. And although, while, I haven't decided yet, I may have to drop down to doing 2 videos a week just because of time and everything, and just the practicality of filming while I'm being transitional, because I'm gonna have some makeup here, some makeup in Virginia, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But continuing to create content and doing all whatever on here is something that I am very, very passionate and very, it's what I want to do. And so to everyone who has just been super, super supportive, give y'all a big old pat on the back. I am hideously grateful. Obviously, we're talking about everyday makeup and makeup I use all the time. Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. And also, if you hear any kind of rain sounds, well, that's because it's raining outside. I woke up and I'm like, I feel slightly humid today. And then I looked outside and was like, yeah. I'm very much a sun-loving person. I need it. I gotta have it. And so when it's all kinds of dark and dismal outside, I'm just like, kill me. Kill me now. And so as for said future of my channel, I am super, super happy, overwhelmed, all that jazz about the wonderful growth that I have received recently. It's just been when you start on YouTube and you have 50 subscribers, you're like, well, I don't think I'm ever gonna make it to 1K, let alone 11K, where I'm sitting at right now. And you just see it and you're like, it feels so, I don't look to YouTube. I did not start YouTube to be like, oh, well, I'm gonna do this and it's gonna be great and I'm gonna be able to, make this my job. I started YouTube as a you know, an outlet, a way for me to share my love of the makeup and everything like that. But it does feel good to see that your hard work, you know, the effort you are putting into the content that you are creating, you know, actually gain some momentum on the platform. And so to see that and all of y'all's interaction and, you know, commenting and everything like that, it really does just kind of inspire me and push me into really wanting to create more content, because I see this lovely little group of people who've come here and, you know, your interactions with me, your interactions with each other. It's just like, yeah, I want to keep adding to this. I want to keep this going. So that is more than definitely my plan to do all up in here. It's just something that gives me so much joy and so much pleasure. It just makes me happy inside. Now, as for like transition and everything and plans like that, this is kind of where it gets a little whatever. I have been looking at like houses and things like that. I was originally looking for places for me and my husband to rent down here. My grandparents live in the Camden, Tennessee area, and I wanted to, you know, looking for a place in the Camden, Tennessee, or even the Paris, Tennessee area, which is about 20 minutes away from where my grandparents live. But the problem with that was that a lot of rent places were not too keen on pets. You know, if you're familiar with my Snapchat, I have 2 kitties whom I love to death, and whom parting ways with will never ever be a thing. Mama loves her babies, and Mama is never going to leave them. And so I then was like, all right, well, let's take a look. My aunt, the people that all live up in here, the house here that I'm in right now is my grandma and grandpa. And then on the same property, in their own place is my uncle and my aunt and their daughter. So I've got a good group of family all up in here. So my aunt, she decided, she was like, well, let's pull up Zillow and see kind of what's going along all up in there. And there were quite a few houses. I mean, it's only me and my husband and our 2 kitties, so we don't need a crap ton of space. Funny how that always happens. You're like, all right, put me in a bathroom with, like, you know, no one watching, in my element. I can give you a beautiful beat. Put me in front of camera where I'm actually trying to show people a beautiful beat, and you'd never know that I knew how to do makeup. I mean, this is just looking all kinds of patchy and unblended, but oh well. So I've been looking at like 2 to 3 bedroom houses, you know, 1 to 2 bath, you know, we don't need anything fancy. And there are some that I've seen, and we've been looking at a lot of foreclosure ones, which, you know, there was one that I was looking at I really liked. It was 3 bedroom, 2 bath, I forget how many square feet, and it was, I think, 25 or 26,000, which for poor people is pretty great. My one of my brother Avram, he's got 7 kids, and they just sold their house and bought a new one. And I'm like, Mom, look at this house for 26,000. She's like, yeah, your brother bought one that was like 300,000. I'm like, okay. Of course, he went to college and he's got all kinds of fancy degrees, so he has the money forthwith to buy $300,000 worth of house. Me, on the other hand, I need basically a glorified crash pad that's better than a crash pad. A little vampy, a little bit gothy all up in here, because like the brown, when it's like coming into contact with the red, is turning out a little gray, almost black, smoky going on there. A little bit funny, because I was like, oh, this is going to to be my everyday makeup, and then it's turning into something that I don't do every day. Just means there may have to be a part 2. So we've got the whole, like, finding a house thing. We've got the whole, like, you know, my job is obviously going to be taking care of my grandparents and doing all that and being able to be there for them, you know, 24/7 basically. But the husbando is going to need to find a job, because the job that he has currently, he would not be able to, well, he could transfer to the one in Tennessee, but that happens to be in, like, Jacksonville, which is not where I need to be. So there are just, like, a lot of variables going into this thing and this situation, because I know this is what I want to do. I want to be here for my grandparents. I mean, it's the type of thing where, like, I've had a couple people who are like, you know, well, why are you doing this? You know, don't you want to, you know, do your own thing? And I'm like, well, this is my own thing. You know, no one's strong arming me into this. I made this decision on my own, because I feel like, you know, I would hope that when I reach 89/90 years old, there would be someone who would want to do the same thing for me. I'm not doing this because it's a job. I'm doing this because I love my grandparents and I want to take care of them. You know, they gave me a lot in their life, and now it's my turn to give back to them. It's not blended the best, but I'm actually kind of really okay with this. For someone who sometimes associates and identifies as being goth, I don't do a lot of looks with black. And so I'm just wanting to let y'all know what's, you know, happening with this and what kind of, like, the, you know, what the content is going to be like. I am going to do my utmost hardest to keep creating all the kinds of good content, but definitely be aware that the fantabulous background is not going to be consistent. But I always try to do my best, because a nice looking background is something that's probably a little too important to me, but you know, it's important, so I'm gonna try my best. I may look somewhat okay on camera, but with this mirror up in here, I'm like, wow, look at all the sweat. Because that's one thing that's going to be fun, because apparently when you get older, you lose circulation, and that means you always cold, and so my grandparents keep it really hot in their house. Which is why 9 times out of 10, when I'm filming here, you don't see me in a wig. But just working towards doing all the things. Because even if there is like, if there's like 1 point of heat, like in the wintertime, I'm always cold. I'm always so blinking cold. My husband hates it. I put my cold hands, my cold feet all up on him because he is like a radiator and he does not like to share the heat. But in the summertime, if like the temperature is like 1 degree above what my body is, my whole like homeostasis goes completely out of whack and I start sweating. Like, I don't think there is anyone in my family who sweats as much as I do. I just lucked out on that genetic jackpot. I always hate doing my eyeliner on this side because usually this one can be okay, but then when I do it on this side, it always jacks up and I just want to something about this eye, like when I do this and I bring this down, it doesn't tug the skin as much, but then when I do this one, it just brings the whole half of the eyelid down, which jacks up the line of the eyeliner. I don't understand it. So then you try your best to, oh my goodness, I'm just not even going to care. It's like, oh, look, that's kind of nice. Oh, look, that's horrible. Also does not help that I am blind as a bat. Do not have contacts, so I can't see jack all. But not entirely mad at that. Let's go in and prime the rest of my face. And I mean, part of the thing about this whole thing is it has been, you know, like a great experience for me, a great like learning and adulting, because y'all probably don't know, but if you ask my mom and my dad, it took me a while to like start becoming a feasible actual adult. Your girl was kind of resistant to that whole growing up thing. And this has been a wonderful like developing for me and growing for me and just like realizing who I am, what I want to be, how I'm going with my life. And it's just been helping me kind of really move forward and just figure out what I'm doing and be like more okay with myself as a person. Cause for a while there, my self-esteem and my like direction in life was pretty much in the toilet. Thankfully, we ain't in the toilet no more. And so one thing I would love to like hear from you all, I do have a long like list of videos I want to film. I've got ones that I can film more easier while I'm here. I've got ones that I'm gonna have to do back, you know, in the normal setup with, because not all my makeup is here with me, and some of the things I'm going to talk about are over back in Virginia. But I would love to hear content that you all would like to see. And I know y'all want to see a wig video. I apologize for not getting that done before I left Tennessee. I mean, before I left Virginia to come to Tennessee. It just was not in the cards, because that is going to have to be a very much long and involved video. But that is going to be something I'm going to be doing when I get back to Virginia. I know you all have been asking for tutorials. That is something I'm going to be doing more of, although compared to like other beauty people on this platform, I cannot guarantee said quality of tutorials, because like I said, in the bathroom doing my thing with music blaring, I can give you a pretty good beat. Put me up here on camera with all kinds of finagling, I cannot guarantee you a good makeup outcome. But we will most certainly try. I know y'all have wanted to see more personal videos, either with my grandparents, my husband, my whatever. I've got some of those all up in the works for y'all. But I do absolutely love hearing content ideas from you guys, because it's so fun to like know, okay, what do you want to see? You know, what sort of ideas, whatever's float your boat. You know, what sort of things interest you? And there are quite a few. Part of the problem, part of the thing, here's a little bit kind of a reality thing about being a YouTuber. Sometimes I will have makeup ideas, like I've got a notebook full of like, these are videos I need to film, and then say, you know, an eyeshadow palette comes out or some kind of product that I want to review, you know, that's going to take place of another video, because I love doing reviews. And if you want, you know, your content to be somewhat relevant, you're gonna have to get it up real quick. And so sometimes it may take a while for a video that I've either mentioned or told y'all or whatever to get up. And I also, another kind of, you know, peek into my whatever I do, when I normally in my normal YouTube setup, I do like to film multiple videos at once, which is why you will see me, you know, in the same outfit 2 or 3 times, and why sometimes I will post a video from like forever ago that I filmed forever ago, because, you know, you'll film it and you'll be like, this is great, but other things, you know, reviews and other videos that are more urgent, you know, come up and you're like, well, okay, but you still want to post that video because you put work into it and you like the content and everything. So there is that aspect of things, but I would absolutely love to hear, you know, things that you all would like to see, and I'd like to get those done, you know, get that curate content that is something that is like specifically for y'all. Sometimes whenever I go into these blushes, y'all know I love them so much, but sometimes I forget how some of them are very pigmented. I'm not sure what it is, but I usually like to take my blush up to here, but for some reason, this one is not wanting to go smoothly over top that layer of highlighter, and that's why I've got this like line right here, which I am not a fan of, although I ain't got no one to impress. I got me a husband. I don't need to go out nowhere. I guess maybe that's a little bit better. Now I just look like I've got... Like I said, this always happens. I'm like, I'm pretty good at makeup. I'm good. I'm driving, whatever. And then I get on camera and I'm like, I know nothing. But bless all y'all who keep coming back nonetheless. Definitely pop down y'all's video ideas and everything like that. And if anyone has any like tips and tricks for moving, because like, I've only moved once in my life, and that was just to like an hour away from where I lived and grew up my entire life. So now I'm moving across a state 12 to 14 hours away from where I lived and grew up. So I'm a little bit paranoid, especially about my makeup. If you've got any packing tips or anything like that, or any, you know, how to keep my head from exploding from the stress, that would be helpful. Currently my favorite mascara, I don't even know when I got this, but it's like a sample size. This is the Smashbox Super Fanned Out Mascara for when I'm not wearing false lashes. I absolutely love this, and your girl has not been wearing false lashes for quite a while now. I've been real lazy. This has just been an absolutely, well, that's gonna be on there forever because mascara never comes off. Which honestly kind of sometimes makes me wonder, then why am I putting it near my eyeballs? That's okay, in the lovely words of Judge Judy, beauty fades, but dumb is forever. I feel like I never know how to do that like the big, like Jeffree Star and everyone else. Like they're all like, oh, and I'm always like, ugh. Pull the hair out and kind of bring it down to whateverness going on here. Let me see. I need to do something with it. Something soon. We're looking not too shabby. All right, y'all. I'm sorry if that was just kind of like a random, all over the place stream of conscious sort of get ready with me. It turned out somewhat okay. Not, you know, it's funny because I use products that I like do reach for on the daily, but it didn't necessarily turn out into something, you know, I like it. It's all good. It's whatever. But you know, it didn't turn into, I guess, what I was expecting it to. But as stated, definitely leave, you know, content ideas and everything like that. Thank y'all so much for sticking it with me and being it with me through all of this hectic and crazy stuff that is going on with my life. Thank y'all so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah!